I'm already getting like the flood of names coming to me.
No pressure.
This guy stinks.
That's very true. All right.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like my grandma's favorite player.
Play ball!
Welcome to Ordinary Effort, where random guys try to guess random baseball players and not biff the grid. We're back for Immaculate Grid episode 2. My name is Mike. I am a suffering Mets fan and a former stats analyst, and here with my buddy Josh. And to the point of stats, Josh, we have stats now. We have done one grid, and we are 9 hits and 0 biffs so far.
Yeah, it went better than we thought. Although when we pulled up this grid, I was pretty excited as a Yankees fan to see the Yankees row and the Mets row for you. So we could do pretty well on this one.
Yeah, there will be future biffs. This might not be one of them because I feel I'm already getting like the flood of names coming to me of like old Mets here.
And, and I didn't say this to you, but I'm wondering, like, I'm cool with letting you kind of quarterback this. I'm not going to come up with any Mets players stronger than your memory, and I feel like I've got some old Yankee memories where if we get to that point we want to kind of take lead, I'm down to try it. So
yeah, let's do it. Let's riff. I mean, we could still riff, but yeah, I've probably got some random ones hidden back there. You want to start then with the Astros, knock that out right away, and then go to our favorite teams? All right, cool. Let's start with the stat or like the accomplishments again. You want to start right to left this time?
Yeah, so I mean, I want to avoid those position player guys, and I'm just thinking about relievers. I mean, it would have been like Presley. Was Brian Abreu would he have been on the 2017 team?
So I think the 2017 was their first championship. I don't think the older teams did it. So it was 2017, and then they won again in 2022. I don't know if Abreu was on the 17 team, but he was on the 22 team.
One of them. Yeah.
So Presley, Abreu. Actually, this guy's a former Met. He had a pretty bad season this year, so he might have fallen off the radar. What about Rafael Montero?
Yeah,
he was on the 22 team for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You want to go with Montero?
Yeah, the only other one that comes to mind is Stanek, but I think I think Montero will be. I think it'll be better here.
I think so too, because he had a worse season. I think people probably either forgot about him or are very, very angry with him. Okay. All right, there we go. Starting with a hidden gem, 0.7 for Rafael Montero.
All right.
Astros All-Star.
Yeah, I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Ken Caminiti. Again, trying to avoid that newer core of this Astros team. So, I mean, I don't know if people will think about him instead of guys like Altuve or Bregman,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, my mind goes to like with the older teams like Bagwell, Biggio.
Yeah.
I had a video game on Sega Genesis that it was like 1994, and I used to play with the Astros. Another name, I don't know if he was an All-Star though, Kevin Bass.
I don't know that one. Like, that doesn't ring a bell.
No. Okay. I mean, we could go back to Caminiti. I'm confident that he was.
It's probably a good. Yeah. Let's go Caminiti. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
0.9. We're supposed to get the good scores on the Mets and Yankees row, nothing Astros.
Nice.
All right. Astros Nationals. So this can be Nationals or Expos because it's the same franchise, right? There you go.
I don't know if I'm going to be that much. This one actually like kind of escapes me a little bit.
So Randy Johnson was an Expo at the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
But he's going to blow up our rarity score.
He'll be pretty common.
So there was a relief pitcher a few years back. He had a couple really good seasons for the Astros. And I'm pretty sure he ended his career or later in his career ended up on the Nationals. I think he had a bunch of injuries, but you remember Will Harris?
Yeah, the name rings a bell, but I don't know him well enough to. I'll trust you on it. If you feel good about it, I don't remember him well enough to know him for this box, but it would definitely be better than Randy Johnson.
I was going to say, I feel good enough. I feel confident he played for both teams. And if we're going for the lower score, I think Harris is going to be better than Randy Johnson. So let's go Will Harris here.
Okay.
Okay, 13%.
Yeah. Not
Not
bad.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How do you want to do the
Yeah.
rest here? Do you want to kind of alternate here, maybe?
Yeah.
All
Let's
right, cool.
let's do it. Yeah.
Let's
All
start
right.
up
So
top.
World Series champ. I mean, there's obviously a lot of recent Yankee guys. You know, they got the core four, Jeter, Mariano, but I'm trying to think of some of those guys. Like, so Jeter's predecessors won. Mariano Duncan comes to mind. Could
Was
be
he
a good one
shortstop or second
here.
baseman?
I think he
I mean, it doesn't.
rotated. He might have actually been pushed to second at some point
Okay.
after Jeter. There's also a couple guys. So Ricky Leday comes to mind.
Also a former Met.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah,
Okay.
that's very true. And then, there are those relievers that some guys forget about that were really clutch to kind of bridge into Mariano. You got Mike Stanton, Jeff
Mhm.
Nelson. So there's, some guys in there.
The-
Um,
Um, who was the really tall? I mean, I know Jeff Nelson was tall too.
yeah.
Graham Lloyd. I
Oh,
don't know why that name's coming to me. He was a Yankees reliever
yeah.
for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember if he was on the World Series teams. He's right around that time.
Yeah, I mean they won 4 out of 5. So if he was
Yeah,
there for more than
yeah,
1 year, he had to have been on one of those teams.
yeah,
I'll leave it up to you though, because this is your Yankees or your.
yeah. No pressure. I'm leaning Ricky Leday just because he kind of had like a platoon role with the team. I feel like people it's easy to forget about him. Let's go Leday.
All right,
Okay,
another hidden
nice.
gem, 0.5.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Okay, that's
This is
good. Yeah.
good. All right, so World Series. I'm gonna have to go all the way back to '86 for this, or the
Yeah.
1969 team. So I want to kind of avoid the obvious ones like Strawberry, uh, Doc Gooden, Keith
Right.
Hernandez, Gary
Yeah.
Carter. So I had a pennant in my room when I was growing up. I still have it somewhere. It's like I moved a few times. It's in a box somewhere, but it was an '86 Mets World Series pennant, and there were all the signatures of all the guys on the team. And I used to just sit there and like read the signatures. So a few names come to mind. Tim Tuffle.
Oh man.
But I think he was actually a coach with the Mets. I don't know if he was a bench coach or like first or third base coach,
Mm.
and recently, so people might remember him a little bit better. There's Sid Fernandez, and then
Mm.
I don't know why this name sticks out. Probably because I was like, "Who is that?" I don't know who that is. Doug Sisk.
Yeah.
I don't
I
I
can't
couldn't
even. I don't know the name. So
I
I
couldn't
mean,
tell you what position he played. I think he might have been a relief pitcher, but I know
yeah.
his name was on that banner. So I want to go
Then I gotta go. Yeah.
Sisk here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Point
Nice.
four. All
Yeah.
right.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Yankees
Yankees
All-Star.
All-Star. So yeah, I mean, again, a lot of the World Series guys fit the bill here, but I'm thinking older.
Okay.
I'm thinking like a guy like Elston Howard, much older catcher. Could be a fit here. I'm fairly certain he was an all-star.
So when you said older catcher, my mind, I don't want to use Yogi Berra because I think he's going to be
Right.
too obvious. But what about Thurman Munson?
Ooh, yeah, yeah. I yeah, I'm trying to think who would be rarer. I feel like, Howard played a long time ago. He wasn't like a Hall of Famer, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's an all-star. I feel like I think he'd be rarer than Munson here. He was like
Elston? Yeah, there we
yeah, he
go.
was like my grandma's favorite player. So all right,
Wow.
nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Point
Yeah.
six. Another hidden gem. We're okay.
Nice. Okay.
All right, let's jump down to Mets All Star. So again, I kind of want to avoid like the household names like from recent, like David Wright, Jose
Yeah.
Reyes, Matt Harvey, Pete Alonso. Okay, the Mets were like really, really bad in the mid '90s, but there were a couple guys on that team that I really remember and liked. And I think this came up on one of the crossover grids. There's a couple different sites that have these grids. If you haven't
Yeah.
found them already, crossover grids one of them. Where they kind of have it was like the 200 hits in a season,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Lance Johnson had something ridiculous, like 220 something hits for the Mets in like 95 or 96. And I'm thinking, like, how you can't have that many hits and not make the All-Star team. I don't specifically
Yeah,
like remember him playing in the game, but I feel like he would be a good one here. It's a little bit
yeah.
of a risk.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I get if you want to try it, yeah. Let's give it a let's go. We have like a good
All
grid
right.
going on. Let's.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Point
nice.
two. I loved Lance Johnson,
Man,
by the way. He was such a good player.
I was worried
Um,
because sometimes those guys, those high hit guys, just kind of get left out of the All Star team sometimes. So,
that's
but
true.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. All right. We got two left. Yankees Nationals, or it could be Yankees Expos here.
Yeah. So Randy Johnson fits this one. I think he'll be pretty common.
Same.
Um, you know what? Nick Johnson comes to mind. First baseman for the
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yankees.
yeah. Okay. I remember him.
Good
Wow.
lefty bat. He might be a good one here. Definitely better than Randy. I'd say let's just do it. Let's go with Nick Johnson.
Okay. There you
Okay,
go.
seven.
All
Yeah,
right,
all right.
seven. So people still remember Nick
Yeah,
Johnson. I do
yeah,
remember him now that you mention it. Yeah, I
yeah,
wouldn't have come up with him right away though, obviously.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we got one more. Mets Expos or Mets Nationals. All right. So this we're gonna go back to the 90s on this one again. And I vividly remember this guy because every time he would come into the game, I'd be watching the game with my dad. He'd come in, and within minutes, it was like, this guy stinks. And he was actually really good on the Expos, it turns out,
Uh,
like before he was on the Mets. And I probably ranted about him to you before. So this Mel Rojas
oh yeah, yep,
was
yeah.
so bad for the Mets. He like his ERA, I think, was well over 5 in his like year or two with the Mets. He was really bad,
Mm,
but he was definitely on both teams. And
yeah,
for many reasons, I think a lot of people forget about him.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Wow.
24 overall rarity score. Okay,
Whoa.
that is even better than I was expecting. That's almost, I know, like we said, like rare, like rarefied would be like 15.
Yeah,
24 is
yeah,
close though. This is okay.
yeah. That's wow. A bunch of hidden gems here.
One, two, three, four, five,
Yeah,
6, 7 hidden gems. 7 guys under
yeah.
1%.
I mean,
Very
we
nice.
we said at the beginning of this, like this is sort of the stars aligned here a little bit for us. I'm a big Yankees fan. You're a big Mets fan.
Yeah,
So
this
if
is,
you've made it to this video, like it's gonna get worse from
oh, it's
here.
gonna it's
So
gonna go downhill. It's gonna fall off a cliff from here.
but but hey, we got a super hidden gem there with Mel being less than 0.1%. So give him a shout out. But
Listen, this is the only time I'm going to give him any positive credit for anything he did with the Mets. This is the one. This is his pass. We'll
oh
give it to him this
man,
time. That's it.
good
Um,
stuff though.
awesome.
Yeah,
All right. Uh, good
yeah,
showing. Let's do another one. Follow us. We got some socials on the side here at
yeah.
Ordinary Effort on Instagram and TikTok, and we got some more grids floating around somewhere in the thumbnails.
Yeah.
So check them out.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for watching.